I think this might start to slowly become a staple here on the show on this week's episode of Finding Love. But full disclosure, so I'll be turning 29 shortly, and I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm looking at I want to have kids soon, right? I want to have a
Yeah.
family, and I want to find the right gal because I'm a firm believer in the right gal will make my life infinitely better, but the wrong one will absolutely decimate it and destroy me. And I've learned from somebody it's significantly easier and a lot cheaper to learn from other people's mistakes than make them yourself. So as a seasoned gentleman with a lot of salt and pepper, where the salt looks a little bit better than the pepper, if I might add, the only man we've had in the show with a beard better than mine, what advice would you give as far as with the having kids, finding the right woman, not making the wrong decision, and doing that all while traveling? Because although I'm done playing pro hockey, I'm still traveling for my new travel series and for our show and all that other stuff. So floor is yours, my friend.
Well, I'll give you some advice. I've been divorced for 5 years. I married my high school sweetheart. We had a great relationship. She's the mother of our three children. And I think when we got to COVID, we kind of stopped working on our relationship. And that's probably the biggest thing I would say is you got to work on your relationship. And we didn't really do that, at the end. And it was too bad. And I look back and that's something I regret because, I've been in a relationship now with, I got a great girl now and I'm a better communicator. And I don't think I was, it's hard for guys sometimes too, to like, you're like, hey, are you okay? Everything good? Yeah, everything's fine. Nothing's ever wrong. But I think, you know, being able to say that, and it actually gets harder, I think, the longer you're with somebody. It's maybe easier at first, but I think the longer you're with somebody, you just kind of get in your like rut or whatever, if you're in that rut and you just kind of just coast, you're like, hey, it's just the way it is. And, you don't spice things up or you don't, make time to go on dates or do fun things and, get babysitters for the kids and go to a concert or whatever. And I think that's kind of where I got, at the end of our marriage. But now I think, I'm a lot better. I'm more cognizant of kind of what went wrong. And so now communication's way better. She's a great communicator and you get it all out and then, you're able to kind of move on a little better because I think, you've been at Wheels, you've been what? I was watching your guys' podcast, 16 years now. You've been off the market apparently.
Yeah, coming up on I guess 13 years. We're celebrating our anniversary here. Yeah, feels
So I'm
good.
sure you got some insight in that, but I think it's like, it's easy just to get stagnant, and that's not good. You want both people to be happy and satisfied and make sure you're taking care of them, they're taking care of you. And so I just think it's like anything. You just got to work at it. And I think I learned from that. So I'm at a good spot now. I got a great girl. We communicate well. And
I always say once my wife sobers up and gets glasses, I'm in big trouble.
well, the looks go away too. By the way, you could be with the hottest girl in the world or the hottest guy, and after a while, it wears thin. You got to have some substance and some character and all that kind of stuff.
I'm trying to look at that as well because I know Dave and I talk about this a lot off the show, and I feel like even though he's been off the market for so long, like the modern day woman, in my experience, has just changed so much, especially for my age. And you can find the hottest girl in the world, like you said, but like, where is the woman that's gonna stick with you through thick and thin, ride or die, and be an absolute compliment and be the mother that my children deserve type of deal? It's hard to find in this economy. It really, really is.
Well, Maze, not to jump in here, but you and I were from the generation where we didn't have, the swipe left or swipe right. And I tell them all the time, like I couldn't even imagine ordering via menu.
No, I've never been on Tinder or whatever the ones are now. But so I have no experience. I know a lot of guys were. So you'd find like, oh, what do you do? Like, it's just to me, it's just, but people meet there all the time. And I guess it's just once you meet somebody, you have to find that connection. But I got introduced to my girlfriend from a friend. So it wasn't too long after my divorce. But I never had the experience of like actually dating people. Like, and just, trying to, I don't think, maybe when I was younger, that would have been something that would appeal to me. But, when you get older, you got kids and Trav, you're in a different situation, but it's tough. Like I got lucky. But yeah, I can't, it would just, sometimes you'd be into a date, probably, I'm guessing a minute or 2 minutes in and like, oh, like,
Oh,
now do I got to sit here and buy, drinks and dinner all night, waste my whole time when like you're probably, it's dead in the water, I don't know. That'd be a weird experience.
I've had a few of those, dude. One that comes to mind for me, I took this girl for a coffee date maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. We go to Starbucks, corner of Pender and Seymour in Vancouver, right by the waterfront station. And this gal actually, she works for the Canucks. I think she still works for the Canucks in like broadcasting and like sales or whatever she did. 5'9", nice curves. I like curvy. I don't like too athletic. That's my type. She was a brunette. I'd prefer blonde, but this was doable and serviceable in this situation. So I go and meet her. Good looking girl. Hi, nice to see ya. I'm at this point in time 27. She's 23. Sit down for a coffee. I'm facing the lobby, I guess, like where all the people are sitting. She's facing me. And within about 4 to 5 minutes, she's just blasting her dad for what a terrible person he is and all these virtuous signals. And she's getting like louder and louder and perking up.
Uh-oh.
And I can see like in the dining hall, people are like starting to look at me like, what is going on? And it was at this point, I'm like, man, this is an absolute write-off.
Yeah, no, see ya.
It sounds like you and I dodged a lot of bullets, Mace.
Oh my God, seriously, that just does not appeal. I would just hate that.
It's tough.
But
that's
I mean,
the-
again, you got to, let's say though, you got to do that, I don't know, 15, 20 times and you find the right one, then it's worth it, I guess.
You
But
got to slay a few dragons to get to your princess, man.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
I guess it depends on many. I know, Matt tells me all the time because like he married his high school sweetheart and they're still going strong. And he tells me the analogy of I found a stock, paid good dividends, I locked it in, and it's just appreciating more and more and more. I couldn't be any better off. And think to myself, like the game has changed. Like I don't know if I told you, I did a photo shoot to update all my dating app photos the other day because dude, the game is so competitive. The game is so competitive. I saw a stat that like 80% of women are disgusted by 80% of men, so they only want the top. So when you're on these dating apps where you're just one swipe away, it's like you got to capture the attention. Kind of like with this show and our clips, you got to get their attention. You got to do it now.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, I see you crushing weights in the gym there, throwing that out there on the old Insta.
I know. Mace responds to my story the other day. Atta boy.
That's good for you. Yeah, that's good, buddy. I love it.
I think I posted that one the other day that was like Red Bull doesn't give you wings, lap pull downs do.
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?